partners. Thomas, welcome. Ayele, welcome. And for all of the it's Ayele. What is that?
I think John Makonda, I think he's he's mute now. Now I can hear you again. Go back.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so for the startups that are here, of course, I think maybe we've interacted before or it's the first time, you're welcome. We'll be speaking a lot more about the develop program and the cohort. You can be able to also ask your questions regarding the program. All the questions you have, please bring them so that we get to answer them. We look forward to receiving your application as well. Like I mentioned, for the ones that maybe participated last time, two days ago, I also mentioned that you don't wait until the deadline to submit your application. So today is the best day. Today is the right time to put in your application so that you have enough time to actually reflect on your application and make sure that it's competitive. So I think we can already start. I would like to welcome everyone to today's session. For some of you, this is not your first time to hear about develoP, but definitely it could be a first time for you to hear some interesting things about develoP, how develoP is really empowering the startup and the ecosystem, and not just about, I'm really quite excited about develoP, not just because about the 100,000 euros, but also the technical assistance that comes with it. That's been very, very useful to companies, and even the application process itself is on its own is very strong value. It's a very strong value for startups. So today we'll also deep dive a lot more about understand the program, what kind of startups program is targeting and addressing, who qualifies, how do you go about it, and also the application process. So as we kick off, I will just maybe run you through in terms of what we'll be talking about today. We'll have like the opening remark from our partners, from VC4A and DEG. Then we'll have a bit of a presentation about develoP from our side. And we'll also touch base about the requirements and criteria and application timelines. Then you will open the floor for questions. We are really looking forward to hearing a lot. Yeah, I see develoP needs business plan. How secure is it in sharing a company's roadmap? So Isaac, I mean, the develoP has really, supported over 21 startups in Tanzania. develoP is not in the business of starting a startup, you know. develoP is there to really support companies and provide feedback. So it's important for develoP to get funded. We have to kind of understand your business. We have to understand the viability. Definitely, we want to know your business strategy. So that's just a common ground. And if you get in, of course, you get the support up to 100,000 euros. If you don't, you also have opportunity to receive feedback why it didn't happen. And definitely, develoP will never, go ahead to implement your startup. That's not a mandate that develoP is designed to do. So, in terms of protection of idea, I think it's 100% secured with application portal, and the information you submit is basically for assessment purposes and nothing more than that. So I will give the floor to Thomas from VC4A. Then I will invite Yele to also tell us more about develoP. So we'll start with Thomas.
Thank you, Francis, and welcome all for joining us today and learning more about the develoP Ventures program that we run in beautiful Tanzania. We are very proud to implement develoP Ventures on behalf of DEG. So that's why we're happy to have Yele with us today as well. And we do this not only in Tanzania, but also in Kenya and Rwanda. But in Tanzania, we are in the very good hands of the Innovate Ventures team, who is also not only helping us with the selection, but then also later on the execution of the program. We are here to support. Very important. This is not about let's say a 3 months program and then we hand you over. No, we are here for the long term. Just want to make sure that, like Francis also mentioned, it's not only about the money. It's also about how can we really help you to not only grow your business, but also how to make it a thriving business. And yeah, we are keen to join you on this exciting journey. So let's make it an interactive session. Of course, we have a couple of slides prepared with all the ins and outs about how to apply and what is in it for you. But please also don't forget to use the chat, or we're also always keen to hear a little bit more about yourself. So please, I already see Abdul Rahman already introducing himself, also with a LinkedIn URL. Please keep doing that. And yeah, also don't forget to have a look at vcfray.com once in a while for other opportunities, how we can support you in growing your business. Jelle, over to you.
Yes, thanks, Thomas. So I'm Jelle. I work for DEG for the last 12 years, also on this program, which is a couple of years old. I've been doing also other startup financing with DEG. DEG is as you might know, is the German development bank based in Cologne with offices in Africa. I've been in the office in Nairobi for around 12 years and recently moved out of the continent. For the details of the program, I think Francis, you will take that, huh? So that will come. For me to say is that very, very happy to be here. I just want to say what Thomas also says, that the program has been around for a while now, not that long, but it's doing its calls. It's doing two calls for proposals per year, and it really tries to establish a program where the startup ecosystem can count on. Every 6 months there's an opportunity, and we try to be in that sense, as predictable as possible. With that said, let me hand it over to Francis. If you unmute,
Francis,
we can hear
muted.
more, Francis. Yes, if you unmute. Started.
Oh, cool. I was just saying, appreciating Jelle and also for spending some time in Tanzania. Hopefully, we get to see you again in the coming months in Tanzania. Yeah, so for startups, we want to make it more, I cannot see maybe your faces a little bit, but we can make it more interactive. In case you have, when I'm talking, maybe something comes up and you want to kind of share, you want to maybe talk about your experience with the application before, or you want to have a specific question that cannot wait, you can maybe just raise your hand and we can be able to discuss about them. Like I mentioned last time, maybe for some of you, this is not the first time you're hearing about develoP, but there's always something to learn in every session, and hopefully these informations can better help you prepare for your application. And for the other ones that maybe this is your first time, you are just in the right place. And we're hoping that you're able to get the right information that you need. So for as I proceed, I would like to quickly, for people attending, if you can just use the chat box just to write maybe one thing that you would like to learn or get out of this session, so we can see that we carry everyone along and ensure that we cover some of your expectations. So you can easily, quickly, maybe in the box, chat box drops a line to say, maybe I want to learn about the fund, the marketing fund, anything that you feel like we should really cover from this. It would be nice if you can drop it in the chat box so that we don't miss out any information. So let me just a second. All right, I'll be checking the chat box once a while. Hopefully I'm able to.
I can also help you with that,
All right.
Francis. But Josephat,
Yeah.
maybe you can mute yourself in the meantime. Or Jasmine, you can do that. Yes, thanks.
Yeah. All right. No worries. So we can start. So sorry, I'm getting this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we talked about in terms of we've been from the last sessions for the ones that were there. We talked a bit about Develop Ventures. We talked about Develop being a program that is supporting scalable, innovative young companies with positive impact through equity-free funding up to 100,000 euros, plus the better part of it, the technical assistance as well. So for Develop in Tanzania, I think I already saw some question in the chat box. I will just head to read. For Develop in Tanzania or Develop, which the program run by DED is in Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda, and also the same program implemented by GIZ in Nigeria, Ghana, also in Cote d'Ivoire, South Africa. So basically, the program is looking at supporting innovative companies that have positive impact. Also, these companies they have at least 1 year in operation, have few revenue, and also have 1 year audited statement. So one thing that I also want to mention is that I think it came up from last session as well. Develop is support for profits companies. So if you are running an NGO or a nonprofit, this might not be the best fit opportunity for you. But if you are running a social enterprise in the rural areas, it's for profit. It has some impact elements and also a bit of innovation, then you are able to qualify for Develop. So what we are looking at for, or what does it offer? Like I mentioned last time, you have, sorry, my slides are failing me. All right. Yeah, so Develop offers 100,000 euros in matching fund. What this means is that for you to unlock the 100,000 euros equity free, you also have to bring in another 100,000 euros from a blend of commercial funding, either from equity or quasi equity, and a blend of a mix of grants and debts or loans, as case may be. So I will talk more about that in the second slide. So one thing we want to establish here is that it's a matching fund. So that means if you qualify for this, for you to receive the 100,000, you have to also show evidence of being able to unlock another 100,000 euros from a mix of equity, debt, and grant. To really kind of also validate or be able to show that some other people have skin in the game for you and also believe in what you are building. And then the program also offers additional technical assistance. This is very growth-focused technical assistance. I think this is also the uniqueness about the program. Not like every other program where you go through one application, you get money, off you go. Develop also provide even follow-on support after the fund. So you get to work with the team to really kind of identify some of the most crucial aspects of your business that are maybe your growth drivers for your business. Then we can identify experts that will work with you now to really re-engineer those frictions and help you really scale your business. So if you are looking to improve your acquisition or improve your team or get your IPs or start structuring for follow-on funding, all of these services or support you get from technical assistance. So that makes this program to be very unique. So when I talk to founders to really join the program, I'm not really just saying, come and get $100,000 and go, but the extra support that comes with it is really the most important aspect that I believe every founder should be able to fall in love with. Develop we've done so far since the beginning, we've done 7 cohorts. We're now in this 8th cohort application, and out of the 7 cohorts, developers have received more than 1,500 applications. In those period, 67 startups have been financed. For Tanzania, developers have about 21 companies in the portfolio in Tanzania. So most of them, you might know the founders. I will give some examples. And of course, the program speaks for itself. So you can actually be able to engage with some of the founders and also ask them about their experiences. I'm sure you'll be blown away about the value that you can get from the program. Within this 67, Develop also offers phase B. So if you go into the phase A of the 100,000 euros, you're able to qualify for that. And then you go through the program for 1 year. And if you are also, you feed in the mandate for phase B, Develop will also give you another 100,000 or 200,000 euros in follow-on phase B funding. So out of the 67, about 24 have received that. And Develop has already committed more than over 10 million euros to these companies. And here also it kind of reflects, you can see the portfolio standing and also the success rate. You see that out of these companies that have received funding from Develop, most of them have raised a cumulative of more than 38 million euros in follow-on investment after they've received Develop. So all of this kind of stems down from not just about the financing from Develop, but also now the support you receive even after. This goes through, scaling your solution, going towards positive economies, helping you with investor exposure. Some of them, for example, a few weeks ago or last week, some of the Develop portfolios had opportunity to really engage and pitch in Cape Town. So you get all of these kind of visibilities that actually, connect you to reach your next milestone. So these are some of the values that you get even outside the funding. So what kind of companies are we looking at for? First thing is that you must be locally registered in Tanzania, and you are also for profit. So I know some of you might have maybe Delaware or foreign holdcos, but Develop is investing in local companies, so it is very crucial that you have a local entity, at least with 1 year audited statement, and also for profit. And you are already generating some revenues to really prove concept of your model, and it gives us an idea to be able to really assess the viability of the business. You're also, like we mentioned, it's a matching fund. So one of the critical aspects of it is that we want to also ensure that you have other investors that are interested in your startup. Here, maybe I can give you a bit of an example. If you are going to unlock 100,000 of Develop, that means you need to actually be able to bring another 100,000. So this 100,000, the other one, the 50% of the matching fund, can be a blend of equity or quasi-equity. So this can be convertibles, equity, safe. That should be at least 50,000. And the blend of loan and grants can also be make up the other 50,000. So questions I always get most of the time is that, can the grant be the matching fund 100%? That is not possible. We also want to see a commercial interest in your business. And also your loan has to be not a very high interest loan that, really do not support the growth of your business. So we also can assess the type of loan that you are actually using as a matching grant. So one of the things that if you are thinking to apply for Develop or you're applying, then it's already time for you to or you're already talking to some of other investors that will be interested to invest in your business. And that's where Develop comes in to really match that investment. And your company locally has now received more than 2 million euros in funding to date. These are more like commercial funding. And you have a good element of innovation and also ability to be able to scale within the country. That's also what we are looking at. And another aspect is that... Somebody speaking?
Yeah.
Okay, no me. Okay, so I will answer the question very soon. So Another aspect is that the impact developed is also it's a public fund, so the aspect of the impact has to be very, very clear. So want to actually see clearly how does your innovation contribute or address some of the SDGs. So that also has to be also clear in terms of how you present your application. So I'll just before I continue, I want to look at what's on the in the charts. My name is Matthew, Commander, Service Professional. I'm currently following up on the registration. And my question is that the program include this kind of stuff. So you have to have 1 year in the business and you have 1 year financial statement, then you can qualify for this. What do I mean by few revenue? There are users and they are paying for it. That's what it means. So there are no revenue markups or margins or limits, but we want to see some tractions, some activities in terms of sales that has happened and how this reflects also in your auditor statement. Do you usually recommend debt providers for less than 3 year type companies to founders? How easy? So the question, your question to answer that is that even you cannot use debt to match 100% develop. That won't be possible. And also the kind of debt we're looking at here is that there are it could be convertibles, it could be we're not looking at collateralized debt most of the time, except you have that. There are also some debt instruments that are very available to startups that are not very traditional, conventional, like the ones you have. And also with develop, you cannot be able to use 100% debt to match the funding. We also need some commercial interest and investors that have also skin in the game that wants to also come to join you in your journey. So the timelines, we have the application open twice in a year. This is the second cohort for this year. And the process starts with the application stage where we are at the moment. The application runs for about 6 weeks, which we started on 15th of November, and is going to close without extensions on 31st of December. So you have roughly 3 weeks to put in your application and stand a chance to get 100,000 euros to support your growth. I always say that you don't have to wait until 2 days to. Today is the right time to put in your application. We also offer application support. So if you're applying, you can join our WhatsApp groups and we will continue to provide you with application support through the process and to ensure that you're able to successfully submit your application. So at the end of application, which ends on the 31st of December, we'll do pre-selections with the team, and the other stage in Tanzania, we will not potentially do a pitch. We will do one-on-one interviews to better understand the startup, the company, and the founders as well, and also help us to kind of get answers to maybe some of the questions that come up during the selection process. After the interviews, we do due diligence where the develop team will visit you in your office, get to learn about your business, speak to some of your customers, understand your market dynamics, understand your team and your product more, and be able to, deep dive a little bit into your models just to understand the scalability and the impact. Then after due diligence, we also have a stage of documentations where we help you with putting your information together for the investment committee. At that stage, we pass the information to investment committee, who makes the final decisions on startups that will be selected for the funding. After that, after step 6, that's where we now start the technical assistance, where you also receive very curated, personalized technical support to help you really unlock your next business milestone. So like I mentioned already, we have two of them in a year. So this is the second call for this year, which ends on 31st. Then for next year, 2025, the first call will start 15th of May. So even if develop gives you enough opportunities, so if you applied before, I'm sure you must have received feedbacks. You can actually go back, work on them, and you have opportunity to apply again. The same as maybe you apply now, you also have opportunity to apply in next coming few months. So there is a room for everyone. So long as you're able to continue to build your company, taking the feedback, and you can always reapply if you don't get it. I would technology company program irrigation. We are registered and have it in our company. So you need to be generating some revenue, then you can be able to apply as well. So this also represents some of the current developed portfolio. Like I mentioned last time, you might be able to have an idea of some of the companies represented across different verticals here. You can see Tanzania portfolios are well represented across most of the outlined verticals. You have on the clean tech, you have Haniji, you have Try. These are Tanzania companies. On the health aspect, you have Medicare, you have the Mkononi. On the finance, you have YesID, Simplify, Tembo, Silabu. On the food and agriculture, you can also be able to see Healthy Seaweed, you see Climo Fresh. So these are all Tanzania companies that are already benefiting or already in the portfolio of develop and have been able to leverage on the resources available to really support their business growth. So these are some of the impact that develop has recorded over the years, over a short time that the program has been implemented. More than almost 4,000 jobs created, and more than 10 million people already reached with essential resources and solutions. And you've seen also more than 3 million patients have also received inclusive health services, and more than 75% startups with digital solutions. So develop basically is working to really ensure that startups that are being supported are really creating very unique and positive impact in the community. So this goes across different sectors. It could be in energy, it could be access to digital economy, business digitization, it could be healthcare, it could be mobility. So some of these things that really improve lives are areas that develop is really interested to invest in. So these are some of the examples from Kenya, and I will maybe just give you a bit of example from Tanzania. One that could resonate with some of you is the Mkononi. The Mkononi is in the pharmaceutical value chain, and since they have received developed, they have actually grown their team to 90. They've hired about 90 new people into their team. They've also have expanded their client base to 2,500 health facilities, and also have raised follow-on investment of more than $2.5 million. So all of these are some of the impact that people piggyback or leverage on develop resources to be able to scale. So one of the things that develop is really good at is also the added advantage you get, the additionality to your business. So develop comes in and look at where do we add value. You get the 100,000, and also how do we help you reach your next milestone. So it goes just beyond going to a program, but also even the process from the interviews to due diligence. You are exposed to a critical aspect of your business, even having those reflections, going to do documentations, putting your financial model in a more viable, in a more sustainable way. These are some of the values you also get. And beyond that, you also get exposures with the partners like VC4A. You can also be able to leverage on VC4A network to be able to also access some other startup resources, investor networks, follow-on support. So there is this holistic support system that comes that you receive from DG, from VC4A, also from local partners like Innovate. That makes the project, to be very, very holistic, very impactful for companies. And I don't know if I will just maybe also mention some of the contacts at the DG level. We have Julia. Julia is someone that always frequents Tanzania as well, as the head of develoP, and we have the project manager Nicholas. On a local level, if you are looking for contacts in terms of to ask more questions about develoP, to how to apply, if you face any challenge with application, please do it to reach out to me or to Jasmine. We are very happy to answer to your questions. And on this call, Jasmine also put the link to the WhatsApp group there. So if you are looking to start your application or you have any questions, you can do well to join the WhatsApp group. And we'll be more than happy to support you in the process. Thomas, Yele, I don't know if I missed out something you want to maybe add some thoughts to this before we open up for questions.
No, I think questions would be best. I think you said it all.
Yeah. So, are there any questions from anybody? You can maybe raise your hand. I'll give you the mic while I'm trying to answer some of the questions here. So, a company is Tanzanian. One's a region. A pilot is at Uzega district. Yes, John. The question founder investment is a small manufacturing product. So, Yele, there's this question: Does a sole proprietor registered company like individual registration, does that count, or they have to be a company?
Good question. I was my own sole proprietor all the time in Kenya, but I didn't have to do audited financials. I would think, Mariam, are you submitting audited financials? And do you have that or not? If maybe you can unmute.
Mariam, you can unmute to speak if you want to.
So is she maybe not unmuting? So maybe for everybody, I don't think we have seen this before, because I think this is probably the issue. There's this registration where you have your BRELA certificate where you're registered as that. I'm not sure if in Tanzania you also, as a sole proprietor, you are registered like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Tanzania, if you are sole proprietorship, you are liable to do audited statement as well, except you don't do it. They don't enforce it so much, but you can be able to do it, so long as you are in business and you have the task number or something.
I think maybe otherwise Mariam can just reach out on email and then we can look into it. But I think the key thing, the key first question to be answered is, do you do audit financials? Back to you, Francis.
Yeah. All right, thank you. So Mukesi, so if they are expanding to Tanzania, I mean, if they're already doing business, of course, I also get Yele's idea here. If they're already doing business in Botswana, they're expanding to Tanzania, I think my first thought here could be maybe they expand to Tanzania for the first year, then they can apply. But maybe I can clarify from Yele, would they be able to, if they want to expand to Tanzania right now and they're already operating in Botswana, do they qualify for the first year, before the first year?
Also a good question. We had it before. We normally, this program is very focused for Tanzania. So there needs to be not necessarily do we take the track record of a company in another country as enough to start working with the company in the new company. So if you in Botswana and you said, I'm going to do it in Tanzania, but Tanzania is a different market, I'm going to do slightly something different. For us, then you are completely new, and it means also that you're completely new and you have no revenues. So we would have to look at it, but I think in the majority of the cases, we want to see, unless you already have, we want to see revenues generated in Tanzania and with a properly registered in Tanzania as well. If you can then maybe go apply before you have your first year of audited financials in Tanzania, we would have to look. What you could always do, what is done, I think, and Thomas, you can help me here. I think you could always apply. You would get into it, and you might actually then your feedback might be in a couple of months' time might be okay, good, but you need another half year. Reapply next time.
Great. All right.
Maybe just to add to that, since we are using the VC platform now for this, also for the people that have applied for Cohort 7, when you indicate you allow us to use the information from the previous cycle, most of the answers will already be pre-filled. That means you need to log in again. But this way, you can save yourself some time at least.
You mean when you're reapplying? Let's say you don't make it this call, and then next time it's not. You don't start at scratch.
Yeah,
you don't start from scratch. Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. All right, Sarah. Just to answer your question for the test financials, at least 1 year financial statement. We do for develop application. And the other question, what sets develop apart? I think you are from Kenya, so I just give a Kenya example here, so it's easy. Let me just do that right now. So, I mean, develop are very consistent in terms of powering entrepreneurs. This is Asia, which the company has actually expanded into like more markets from Kenya, serving over 12,000 MSMEs. So these most of the things they've got here is that they actually be able to leverage on the funding and also technical support they got from develop to really build up their infrastructure and be able to scale. And also from there, they'll be able to kind of access follow-on funding. This is also from Kenya, also scaling in the off-grid, in the building mini grids to support families or communities that are off-grid. Of course, Zurich Health is already positive. Zurich Health is already they broke even and they are doing they supported more than 3 million patients. All of these are develop also contribute to supporting these companies to really find a better way to scale. Also exposing them to like opportunities for funding, the B2B partnerships as case may be. So what has been very consistent, I mean, from where I sit in Tanzania, what has been very consistent, I will actually be able to say very proudly that developed portfolios in Tanzania has really stood out in terms of maturity, ability to scale quicker, access to follow-on supports like investors and all that. We've seen most of the portfolios doing more follow-on investment, receiving follow-on investments, bigger B2B partnerships, because of the quality of support that they receive from the technical assistance and exposure they get from develop. So
can I add one thing to that, Francis? So yeah. Sarah, that's a good question, and in all honesty, sometimes the selection is that there is a bit more is looked at the pure impact. Sometimes another thing, there's more looked at the growth perspective, but it's always a combination. It's a combination of, do you have access to other funding? Can you get this matching funding? How does the team look? We've been visiting, we've been going to teams, of going visiting companies, and then in the end we did not proceed because of the team. So the team needs to be good. It's your access to finance. It's what is your business model? What is how innovative is it? What are you wanting to do with it? How do you do your documentation? How do you present yourself? Can you articulate your USP? So those are the things that we are looking at. And then sometimes we make good decisions, or our IC makes good decisions. Well, we present it to IC, sometimes not, but we try to look at so many different aspects, and we take our time, and we also ask you to put in time to explain it to us, to put it on paper, to let us see, to let us talk to your clients, so that we hope that we do a thorough due diligence, and that we select the companies that can really use this 100,000 at scale. Back to you.
Thank you, Yele, for that input. Yeah, I mean, he kind of articulated all of that. Also, the selection process also defines that we have eye for quality companies, and also they can be able to use the support from develop to really scale. So thank you, Yele, for pointing that out. Do you have any other questions from anybody? So this is our second year in a business, but last year our debt segment didn't report profit. So you must not be profitable to apply for develop. We just want to see that you have revenues. We can be able to track your activities, and we are not develop. Is not. We understand that companies at the early stage, first year, 2 years, 3 years, will likely not be profitable, which is understandable, which is good. So that's not a criteria. You don't miss out if you're not profitable.
Yes, just to add to one thing to that. I mean, you cannot be. Also with bigger startups that I've done for like 10 years, also in Kenya and other places, you are not profitable maybe in the beginning, but there should be an explanation why you have not profit. Maybe because you're building the market, or you are spending so much time on product development, and that costs resources. I think one thing deeper is, if you're selling a product unprofitable, and there is no way to profitability, then we would not invest. So is the unit economics, can the unit economics make sense? Maybe not the first year, but at least the second year, when you get maybe to a certain production, certain number of clients. So unit economics is a very important thing to look at. And then if you're profitable already or not, that doesn't matter. It's, will the unit economics eventually work out? Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Yele, for that. Do you have any other questions? Anybody, any burning questions? How many of us are going to apply? Can I see your hands up if you're applying for develop here? Can I see your hands? You can just show us. Yes, Moshi. Yes. Who is excited? Who wants to apply? Yes, I want to see applications coming in, and do not hesitate. You can already join the WhatsApp group, and our offices are always open. I know ventures, so you can always pass by and ask questions, and we're happy to support you in the process. And in the meantime, I'll also mention that don't wait until 2 days. You know, we are going to the festive period. So you don't want to wait until it's Christmas and you get carried away a little bit, and before you know it's 31st, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to, at least right now where the brain is still hasn't transitioned so much, you want to, sit down to use this opportunity to put in your application, and we are always happy to support you in the process.
And so, you know, Francis, that this is supported by the German Development Bank, and the Germans are known for time management. So there is no thing like, okay, beginning of January, say, sorry, I was a bit late. Christmas was fantastic. So then you automatically will end up in the next call.
Yeah. So that's the thing. There are no extensions. So 31st is 31st. It closes. So there is no, hangover is January 1st, and So let's do it early before we go into this mood. That will be very nice. Yeah, so Avi, yeah, Theophil, please put your application where we are very happy. And also, Sarah, put your application in Kenya. So Sarah is from Kenya, so I'm looking forward to you submitting your application in Kenya. And for every other person, Mokesi, if you have people also from Southern Africa, maybe they're in South Africa or they want to come to Tanzania, they can also be able to apply. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Thomas. Yele, I will give you the mic, Yele, for your last recap, and finally to Thomas to close.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, everybody. Good luck with the application if you apply now. If you think I have to wait 6 months, you can apply next time. But from my experience, also with the other upscaling program, there have been companies that I've been talking to for 2 to 3 years before we invested. I'm not saying that it has to take that long, but there is no. It's never bad to get on the bandwagon early on, even if you might not make it. And after you've done that, I wish you a great Christmas period and good luck. And hopefully, maybe meet you in one of the events or due diligence next year.
I can only agree, Jelle. I wish you all good luck with applications, but even more in your aim to build successful businesses. So we are here with you and looking forward to joining you on the journey.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy your evening. Then looking forward to receiving your applications. Have a lovely evening.